illegal immigrants. Something is wrong with black people. You got all these black faces in high places and you get nothing.
Once they done using you to lead us to slaughter, they're going to put you in the grinder next. That's how it always happens.
It's something wrong here. It's something evil here. It's something corrupt here. What is it, Mr. Blakemore? All of these people here are Democrats.
And as you can see, this is the state of Chicago. Chicago historically has been one of the most racially segregated cities in America since its inception. Chicago has dealt with all kinds of poverty. At least 1 in 4 black person may deal with homelessness or imprisonment, dealing in Chicago with Chicago politics. And now, because a lot of Chicagoans, black Chicagoans, has lack of ownership of the communities, they become guests in their own communities. And now anybody can do anything. They just move anybody in there because you don't own the property there. So what you have in city council meetings now is a bunch of disgruntled black folks. And the first up the bat was a man named Michael B. He came in there to talk to Mayor Brandon Johnson at the city council meeting. Check this out. This is what he had to say.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. I'm more so in celebration mode. See, I came down here for homelessness, you know, and try to get housing, rental assistance, etc. And it seemed like y'all playing a political game with my family, and I'm a straight shooter. So you just got, I can withstand the truth. So I can understand somebody say, no, we ain't giving y'all nothing. You know, I can respect that. Just tell me just like that. I ain't helping you get nothing. But y'all giving these migrants something. They keep on coming down here, the people pressing, hey, this what's going on in our neighborhoods. This what's going on in our neighborhoods. And then the news don't even show what need to be shown. That's right, fake news. That's why you got more real news right here. You see, because I've been doing investigations, because when them migrants first came to the 49th Ward, I gave them clothes. I gave them coats. You see, so I know what's going on. And I kept saying that for the longest. Well, I know you people don't know what's going on to the extent with this migrant and this immigration stuff. Because if y'all so much saying that Texas doing this and Texas doing that, why everybody college parked outside them shelters that's employees, their license plates have Texas on there? You know, give me that job, man. I do security. Why you giving this to somebody from Texas? You see, that's what's going on. Don't help me come out here. I told y'all, I had to let go last time because it's stuff involving my child. So me as a father, and I know that these places are against fathers. They're against husbands. I'm a married man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm standing up for men. I'm standing up for these homeless shelters that y'all got our people in that got mold, that got rats, that got roaches, bed bugs, etc. And y'all putting them in nice hotels. You know, what's going on with that? How's our people? Y'all that bring Chicago home needed to fail. And I push for it to fail. Because if you want to bring the citizens of Chicago home, them people that's already in shelters, especially our veterans, they died for us. They died for us, especially our veterans. Put them in CHA property. House them. You ain't got to spend no dime as much as the millions and billions that been spent for these immigrants here, these migrants here, these asylum seekers here, which ultimately are illegal here. And there's people here that been going on the radar. They can't get a green card or work permit, and they've been here 20, 30 years. Seniors panhandling on the street because they can't get nothing. I'm for the people.
And see, in Michael B's passion, I blame this on the black church because the black church has always been the pulse of the black community. And when this thing first kicked off, the situation, this migrant crisis, a lot of black people in the black churches was helping these migrants with food, clothes, everything. But the black church historically has never taught black people about ownership. See, we have an 18th degree black belt in Bible and Jesus, but no knowledge of how to stop gentrification, no knowledge of ownership to stop these corporate structures and the government from coming in and just pouring things on you. So now the Bible and Jesus ain't helping you now because you never use it to empower yourself. So now he's upset and he's disgruntled about what they're doing to the homeless veterans because the mayor went down there and shook hands and kissed babies. None of that stuff matters, man. You're supposed to use this stuff to empower you. So he was very upset. But then he sat down and Miss Lawrence came up. She came up to swing the bat. So what you have is a lot of disgruntled black people. So let's check out what Miss Lawrence had to say.
Does it prosper a man or profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? We're going to start off with scripture because Mr. Johnson, you love quoting and thumping scriptures up there. And this is something I think is special for you. So I thought I would state that to you. We're going to talk about this executive order of yours that comes from 2023-16, where I'm not going to read it all because I don't have the time. But one thing I want to point out is how you made it clear that you're going to stick these people in our neighborhoods and that we have to just accept it. That's absolutely not, because we've talked about this since last year, when most of you older people who did not stand up with us and reject the sanctuary city. Now, I got a problem with that. And I spoke that on December 14th. So I think we need to cut down the staff of the older people here. How about that? Because you all are not all representing us. How about those who stood up and represented us? Then you stay in your offices. But the rest of you, goodbye. Because that's how we're going to see it when it's time to vote. That's where we're going with that. Home Illinois 2021, that's when it came out, and Bring Chicago Home. Robbery. They both are for homeless causes that you all claimed they're for. You and Prisker need to sync up, because both of you all are trying to pull the same number, which you claim is homeless. And I think you might recall that I said, I'm out here helping the homeless. I got a recording from a homeless that also said, y'all just don't care. You just don't care. There, hearing it straight from the homeless. Now, WOTC, Work Opportunity Tax Credit. 400 plus businesses. Hyatt, which is Prisker's company, all are hiring refugees and kicking all of y'all out. Now, how about that for news that's not being broadcast? See, I do my digging, I do my research, and all of you all will know when I step up here to this mic, I bring the facts. I don't bring no opinions. So you all need to be careful of how you think you're treating us, because we coming for this. We bringing our city back. We removing all these illegals that's breaking our rules and laws, and we're fed up. So it needs to stop. Get your police out there and stop them breaking these laws. I got a lot more to say, but since my time is up, I think I picked on the most important, essential matter. Get it cleaned up.
So now you see Miss Lawrence, she coming from the door, quoting Bible scriptures. But the Bible scriptures and stuff that she quoting, she's powerless with it. The Bible is nothing to her, because she has no power. Her words, when she spews them, has no power behind them. So you actually is embarrassing Christ, because you're supposed to use the word to empower you with knowledge as to how you defeat the enemy and better your situation. Not sit there. He never told you to sit there and wait on him, then come quote me when the enemy show up to do you wrong. This is the state of black people. So now she mentions the Governor Prisker, how he has a company where he's hiring all these illegal immigrants, and he wants to give migrant women $1,000 a month or whatever. Well, duh, these people ain't for you. They're not for you. You already know they wasn't for you. How can you say that this place, Chicago, has been historically racist, and you standing there asking the people that you claim has been historically racist to look out for you and do something for you? No. This is why I blame the black church. But next up the bat is George Blakemore. Oh man, he come in swinging. Let's listen to George Blakemore. One thing about black people, we love a good argument and it sound good, but the results, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Check this out.
Illegal immigrants. Something is wrong with black people. You got all these black faces in high places and you get nothing. Who would knock on my door? I don't know you. Where you come from? Who's your mama, your daddy? Are you a criminal? Are you a pedophile? You're not getting in. You're not, knock. Your ass not getting in. Excuse me. I don't know nothing about you. The young lady say, a background check. Who are these people? Where did these people come from? Why would you bring them here? And why would you push them on the black community, the most poorest of all? We are in a caste system here. And at the bottom of this caste system, black people. I'm not talking about India. I'm talking about right here. And you got the audacity, you black ones I'm talking to, the audacity to bring in an illegal immigrant? Why would you do this? Sell out. And your mama. House in. Yes, I said it. Because that's the way you act. It's something wrong here. It's something evil here. It's something corrupt here. What is it, Mr. Blakemore? All of these people here are Democrats. All of them are Democrats. Well, over in China, they got a one-party system. In Chicago, they do too. Yes, the most corrupt city in the United States. The most racist city in the United States. Who said that? Dr. King? Dr. King, what is your criteria for corruption? Burt and all of them get indicted. Stealing and just terrible here. And these young people are coming here and they're looking at me and they're looking at you. Now, you all make your opinion. It's something evil here. Something corrupt here. Something un-American here. You gonna bring in the illegals? When they wade across the Rio Grande, they're not wading across to help black people. But they are selfish people, and we black people gotta be selfish. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. And that preacher talking about loving everybody, black people love you.
Mr. Blakemore has been having these meetings for the last 40 years, showing up in fatigues, basically sounding like a militant Christian. That's what he sounded like. Riling the crowd up, telling black people what they want to hear, but at the end of the day, no results, no home ownership, no political and economic power. None. We still, to this day, talking about what our ancestors did 60 years ago and screaming how racist the white man is. I mean, it's just all rhetoric, and it gets us nowhere, and it's actually doing a disservice to our children and grandchildren, the children that's going to be grown within the next 10, 20 years. They got to come in and take over from us. It's a freaking disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. But next up the bat, we have Miss Natasha. And it's just the same thing over and over. Things that I've been hearing when I was a kid. The same thing over and over again. When are we going to get to a point where a lot of these arguments we have is irrelevant because we taking control of our own? Huh? When are we going to do that? Well, let's listen to Miss Natasha.
Okay, I do have a heart, but what I do not appreciate is your issue with us and our need for self-preservation. Okay, this country has not made it made clean with us as African Americans here. We should not give them a pass on what happens with us here. Okay, you appointed a deputy mayor of immigration because we have a refugee immigrant crisis. You've been having a crisis in the city. Where's our deputy mayor? A bunch of boulets sitting here, okay? A bunch of boulets sitting here. And Vasquez, you are an alderman. When have you stood with your people out there protesting? I saw you 2 Saturdays ago at Pritzker Park at 4:30 p.m. Why you find the strength to protest with them? Even after you give these people work permits, okay, you need to be honest with them. It is highly expensive to live here in Chicago. There will be an additional burden on the welfare system. We don't need that. How many schools did you all close? You got over 5,000 of their children in the schools. You didn't build any new schools. But you want us to focus on giving these teachers extra money. This is you guys' future. Okay? I don't see how, and I hate to play the race card, but the government has given us no other choice but to play the race card. And stop asking these people for anything. You're supposed to be demanding. Okay? But you know what? Once they done using you to lead us to slaughter, they're going to put you in the grinder next. That's how it always happens. And don't play on our emotions with Harold Washington, okay? Because he did do a great thing. But what you did in March 23, that was a slap in the face to all Americans, not just black Americans, okay? The reason why I bring us up is because we are in a national crisis, okay? But when anything is of scarcity, they take from us first. That's why we are in here so loud, screaming in your ear every week about our issues. Most of our time has already come, but we have to fight for our kids. Because they're the ones you're going to have to worry about in a minute.
Now, I'm sorry. Her whole speech was about what these people are going to do for you. But then talking about the race card, and we already know the history. We already know that this country has been historically racist towards us. Why aren't you working with fellow Chicagoans to build your own community? Why isn't the black church coming together as a group to form maybe the Black Church Coalition for ownership of the black community or something? Because the black church always had the pulse of black people. That's where most of our people are on Sundays, on Wednesdays and stuff like that. Why aren't we teaching home ownership? Huh? Why aren't we teaching business ownership? The same way we teach that Bible. You're supposed to use the Bible and your spirituality to empower your people going forward. You're supposed to use your history in this country to empower you, not be a crutch and sit there and say, look at what you've done to me for so many years. We want reparations. No, you're supposed to create leverage to force their hand and make them give it to you. Not sit here and whine and cry about what they owe you. Oh, y'all didn't build schools and you didn't do this. That's all from a position of weakness. They don't have to do anything for you. You are a peasant. You are a peasant. And to this day, we're still talking like peasants. And this whole city council meeting was a disgrace and a sign of weakness from our people. And I'm gonna tell young people, this is what your elders are doing. But this is not the argument of our great grandparents. They rolled up their sleeves and got to work and did something about it and got results. If we can still say that this country is racially segregated, still racist, then it's incumbent upon us to do what we need to do for us. We don't have no friends, as Dr. John Henry Clark told us. Dr. Amos Wilson already, the blueprint, he already laid it out for what we're supposed to do. So many blacks that came before us already told us what we're supposed to do. But we're not listening. We're not listening. And as I get older and more wiser, and I'm listening to us talk, we sound crazy. We sound crazy. We say we was enslaved in this country, and you want the people that's benefiting from your dysfunction economically to help you? Where they do that at? Help you why? No, you gotta help you. In Philadelphia, one of the blackest cities in America, but no black ownership of nothing. In Baltimore, in Memphis, in Atlanta, in Chicago, in Oakland, all of these places where you have large numbers of black people and very, very, very low positions of ownership other than Atlanta. And blacks are starting to be pushed out of there too. Washington, D.C., blacks have been being pushed out of there for a long time. At some point, we can't continue to blame the grand architect. We got to blame ourselves. Don't tell me nothing about Jesus. Don't tell me nothing about Muhammad and Buddha if you can't use those books to empower you economically, politically, and spiritually. I don't want to hear nothing about none of that. Don't come to me. Don't come to me with you ain't got a pot to piss in the window to throw it out and start talking to me about Jesus. Get away from me with that. Don't come to me with kingdom talk and you living in the basement. That don't make no sense. And that's the problem with the black community. We can quote a bunch of scriptures and surahs, but can't even stop gentrification. And don't tell me you going to get your paradise when you die, because last time I talked, ain't none of y'all been dead yet, so you don't know what's on that side when you die. That's what somebody told you. You better get all the things you can get while you're breathing now, and use those books to empower you going forward. So I'm going to cut this video short here, man. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.